I love reading, but the 5-star reads I live for. So if you want to find your next 5-star read with confidence, let me show you a few cues that I use and I trust to get those 5-star reads. Remember, you need several clues before you can decide if it's a 5-star read. So let's get into it. My name is Raquel. Welcome and welcome back. So let me just say, I have notes, so I'm going to be looking away. Don't mind me. It doesn't make a difference in the tips. So, number one, look for your favorite author and publisher. Yes, I did say publisher. So, we know who our favorite authors are. Now, we got to figure out who the publishers are. Let's use Kennedy Ryan, for example. So, Kennedy Ryan's book, Can't Get Enough, is considered contemporary romance. Her publisher is Hackett Group. Hackett Group uh, publishes contemporary romance. So the publishing companies will generally only publish certain types of books. So because they do contemporary romance, they may not do thriller and suspense. They may not do mysteries. So that's just the way publishing companies work. So here's the thing. If you know a couple of publishing companies or the authors that you like who their books are published with, go on the website, look up their books, and you'll likely be able to find a 5-star read there in contemporary fiction or whatever genre it is you're looking for. But that is another way to find books that sometimes we normally don't see, because for me, most of the books that I come across are either word of mouth on social media, or it's going to be on the Kindle Unlimited or on Libby. And like, we literally cannot see every book because those are thousands and thousands of books. They are based on our recommended choices. So, because of that, we may be missing out on a lot of potentially 5-star books. Number two. So, reading the synopsis. When you're reading a synopsis, we're going to be looking for keywords. We're going to be looking for particular things that we like that is going to let us know if it's a 5-star book. Because one of the things we have to remember, a 5-star book is subjective. So what I would consider a 5-star book is not necessarily what you would consider a 5-star book or somebody else would consider a 5-star book. We can all read the same book and have different perspectives. So you're going to be reading the synopsis and you're going to be looking for particular things that you are wanting to read about. So if you are in the mood for forbidden love, then you're going to look for clues that this would be a forbidden love. Something to the fact that um, they were not supposed to be this way. It was, the relationship was not supposed to be this way, something to that effect. Whatever it is you're looking for, you are going to read between the lines to find really what it is they're saying. Because remember, they are wanting us to read these books. And so they are reeling us in with these sort of blinding truths. So we have to look a little deeper than what it actually says. Like, what is it really saying to me? Number three. So, in addition to reading the synopsis, my suggestion is to, at the very least, read the first chapter of the book. Now, generally, we can do this on Kindle Unlimited. We can do this on the library books. Um, when you get in and you start to read, sometimes within the first couple paragraphs, you can decide, hey, this is not for me, or wow, let's see what's going to happen. If you do that after a chapter, you decide, yeah, I'm going to try and, see what this book is about. If you wind up at 30 or 40% trying to see what the book is about, you're interested. That would be considered a clue because you have gone 30% into the book. That is, depending on how long the book is, that could be maybe, I don't know, 10 chapters or so. Maybe anywhere from, I don't know, 6 to 12 chapters, 30%. So you're already interested because of the amount of reading you've done. Most of the times, if I'm not interested in a book, I can figure that out within the first chapter. And if I can't figure it out within the first chapter, generally within the second chapter. The thing is, for me, the book gets hard to pay attention to. My mind is thinking about other things. I am reading the same thing over and over again. And that lets me know that I am really not interested in this book because it's not holding my attention. So that is another good way. Try and read some of the book instead of only depending on the synopsis. Now, for me, I have a habit of doing certain things because I'm just reading. I'll pick a book based on the cover. I will read the synopsis and decide I'm going to get it. But what happens when I do that is a lot of times I wind up DNF in the book. And I DNF a lot of books because that is the method I use. When I use this method, even if it's a 4-star book, I get through the entire book because I have already wholeheartedly decided that this is a book that I'm interested in. So, if nothing less, I'm going to complete the book. And it's usually going to be, if it's not a 5-star, it's going to at least be a 4 because I've done my homework. I know that I am interested in this book. Then we have number 4. Number 4 is the title, the cover art, and the synopsis. Those 3 things should all make sense together. They should give you a picture of the story without actually telling you the whole story. So if you're looking at the cover art and you've read the synopsis and you can't figure out what the cover art has to do with the synopsis, that is a clue in itself. It's just not a good one. I mean, it's just not a positive clue, but it is definitely a clue. That if you are looking at the title, the cover art, and those two mix well together, but it doesn't kind of, you don't see how it mixes in with the synopsis, it could possibly be just something that, that's in the book that they are not revealing. Something that you need to read the book in order to put the other piece together. But you have to have at least 2 of these 3 things connect together. Otherwise, I'm going to either think the author doesn't care that much. And usually, the better books are the ones where the authors have put all of their love and care into them. And you can tell those are the 5-star books. Also, another thing that you want to look for is books that have um, things in them that are more than just, for instance, the love or the romance. I believe for me, the reason why I enjoyed Kennedy Ryan's book so much, Can't Get Enough, and this. This Could Be Us is because of the other things she had going on in the book. And This Can Be Us, she had like this political story happening that has to do with the world that we live in today. And I was so intrigued by that. I enjoyed that. And This Could Be Us. One of the things that she had in the book that I was intrigued by was the autism, and that is because that hits close to home. I have family of grandchildren who are autistic, and so that hits home. When there is a bigger issue in the book, that is, if you want a book with depth, then once you figure out that there is something like that going on in the book, if it hits close to home, if you are familiar with it, if you are interested in it, that is another thing. That is another clue that would make it a 5-star read. And that's based on this person being well versed in whatever that subject is. But that is another clue. And then we have uh, clue number 6. And that is the writing style. So once you see, once you read the synopsis, or maybe once you read that 1 to 3 chapters before you start the book, it gives you an idea of the author's writing style. If you don't know what writing style you actually like, then you can check that out by looking at the authors that you really, really like. And so that'll give you an idea of the type of writing style that you enjoy. Or you can look at the type of tropes that you enjoy. So if you're reading it and you find out, I knew when I read Can't Get Enough immediately that that was a forbidden love story. And I said, oh, this is a forbidden love story. I'm going to enjoy this. So if you can point those little things out um, within the first chapter or maybe in the synopsis, that is another clue. It's important to know if you enjoy character driven stories or plot driven stories, if you are just wanting to sit back and laugh, or if you really want to immerse yourself into the book, what mood are you in? The what's happening with you that this book is going to add to your experience right now? Those things are super important because that is also a big part of why you would think a book is 5-star and another person could give it a 1-star. Based on where you are in your life, what's happening, what mood you're in, all those things. If you get a book that agitates that, um, depending, you can get a book that speaks to it and it will have you emotional. If you're in a bad place, it can make you worse off than you were before you read the book. But if you find that one book that gives you hope, that gives you joy, that makes you laugh, makes you think, all of those good qualities, it can literally help whatever mood you're in if it's not a good mood. It could definitely help you get out of a bad mood. Um, Books are so amazing to me. I love books. Back to what I said when we first started. And those 5-star books I live for. I hope that at least one of these tips will be able to help you find your next 5-star read. So, now,
Hi guys, want to play a game? I am talking fast because this is not the actual video. I just wanted to come to you and ask if you guys want to play a game with me. I had this wonderful idea where if we play this game, we're all stranded on a desert island. And then we have to choose based on all of the books that we've read, the people who's going to be our rescue team. They're going to be from, well, they would be characters from any African American book you like. And this one, we're going to start out with the leader. So the leader can be anybody in any book we've ever read. I just want to do it together. I think that would be so dope. It would be like super great. It's based on a video that I have in mind, but I am having a little bit difficult time trying to find some of the characters. Like, I have not found a doctor. I can't think of a doctor who I would think would work. So, for the leader, just as an example to give you what I mean, if you've ever read the Love Unaccounted series by Love Belvin, then you know Ezra would be a great leader. So, the leader is someone with big picture thinking, decision making, problem solving, emotionally intelligent, cool under pressure, and a communicator. Their duties would be to assign roles and responsibilities, develop short and long term survival plans, food, shelter, safety, rescue, you know, and to mediate conflict and maintain group morale, keep everybody focused and efficient, and have emergency plans A, B, C, D, so forth and so on. Now, if you've read the book, Ezra literally embodies all of this. And I thought, how cool would that be if other people could come up with the other ones? Because, like I said, I cannot think of a doctor. For the carpenter, I did think of this one guy. His name is Travis, but he's a con artist. So we wouldn't want to be on an island with him, and he's the con artist and the builder, because who knows? He might, like, I don't know, con us out of some of our pineapples or something. I don't know. But maybe you guys know a carpenter. And so I am thinking this is a great idea. It may not be, but I'm thinking it's a great idea. I'd like to just kind of communicate. I really enjoyed communicating back and forth with in the comments the other day, and I thought, wow, how great would this be to just build our, what's it called, rescue, let's see, book rescue team together. So, if in fact you'd like to play, go ahead and drop who you think should be the leader in the comments. There is a community post with this same thing on it, and the options are Ezra, anyone from the uh, Crenshaw Kings by Siobhan Latrice, anyone from the Delgado series by Jaquel J, or just anyone at all, because there is an option where you can just choose somebody. You don't have to choose from the people that I've thought of. Anyways, hope to connect with you on this. Talk to you later. Enjoy the video.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time, see you soon.